topic for discussion. The CBN, they are to introduce new Naira, by December. They are redesigning the Naira. Let's take this sound. We'll come back. There have been some dramas. Let's take this sound.
That really you should call the monetary authorities because they're the competent authority to do this. We were not consulted. It was an announcement that we heard. And I've seen,
you too, just for the press release like every other body.
Part of the reasons that was advocated is that's one of the ways to mop up liquidity to manage inflation. But there are also consequences that we're also looking at what would the consequences be. There will be some benefits, but there will be some challenges. And I don't know whether the monetary authorities have actually looked very closely as what the consequences are and then how they can be mitigated. So I still advise that you have that discussion with the monetary authorities.
That policy statement, dollars have started going up.
Yes.
And that is the consequences, because the target is by January, when this will take effect, dollar will have hit like 1,000 Naira down to $1.
So I've said my opinion as a Nigerian. I've said my opinion as a Nigerian, not as the fiscal authority. First of all, as a fiscal authority, we were not aware of it. It was an announcement. Secondly, I think that's one of the ways that they're trying to use to manage inflation. But there are consequences that also need to be considered and how to manage those consequences.
Yeah, thank you for staying tuned. That was the finance minister, Ahmed Zainab. She was actually telling the Senate Committee on Budget Defense that she was not aware that the Central Bank of Nigeria was planning to redesign the Naira. But the governor of the Central Bank has replied that he does not need to consult their ministry before redesigning the Naira, since he said he has gotten an approval from the president. Mr. Kolawole, do you think, although Section 19, subsection A and B empowers CBN Act of 2007, empowers them to do that on the approval of the president?
Yes.
But do you think that the finance minister is actually telling us the real thing?
Well, just like you have said, the Establishment Act of the CBN gives them a lot of latitude to do so many things. They are in charge of the financial and monetary control policies of the Federation, NORA. And then, just like you said, too, ordinarily they should take the president along whenever they want to take some of his decisions. As regard whether the Minister of Finance was taken along in taking the decision or not, and NORA, for the woman to have come out openly and say what she has said, I would want to believe her that she wasn't carried along. Because that would, if she comes out to say this, and she was actually carried along, then in a way she's putting herself into confrontation with not just the CBN, but also with the president, who has given approval to this change in the denomination of the Naira. But the germane question that I even want to ask is this. In most civilizations and all, when you want to change your currency, it's never a secret affair.
Even to the public.
Even to the public. You announce it, you give people time to prepare for it, and all that. You give people time to prepare for the change. Because not all of us are literate that can read everything that is written on the Naira. You will need to educate people on what is a 200 Naira, 500 Naira, 1,000 Naira, and what have you. What is the inscription in there? Why are you changing? What is the reason for these changes and all that? A whole massive education goes into it in really carrying the populace along. But here in Nigeria, because of the rentier economy that we practice, and also the voodoo economics that most times we engage in and all that, governance becomes a kind of cult activity in which only a few people, and they just take decision on behalf of the rest of us. Even when they have not availed themselves the opportunity to really debate the pros and cons, the goodness and the badness, the advantage and disadvantages of whatever decisions that they have embarked upon taking. Look at this redesigning of the Naira. I've asked myself, of what benefit is it likely to be? We saw this before, during the military era of President General Muhammadu Buhari. It was an allegation that a lot of politicians have ordered Naira in septic tanks at home, in different places and all that. And in order to catch those politicians unaware, so that they will not be able to inject into the economy and then to curb inflation and all that, they changed the Naira overnight. But at the end of the day, it didn't have it didn't work. The impact that they thought it was going to work, I mean, it was going to make, it really never didn't make it. The truth of the matter is, just like the Accountant General that I've said, all the so-called billion that you said they have said, but by the time you go to his house, you are never likely to find those monies in Naira. He would have gone to the
change it to dollar.
He does it to change them to dollar.
Yeah.
Look at the NNPC man who I think is still undergoing trial and all that.
I think he has been discharged.
He's in this, okay? All the money that was found in his house were they in dollars?
$1 million.
Were they in dollars?
So
this is the naivety of the decision that you find these institutions sometimes take.
Okay, Barrister James. Actually, they said according to global test practice that the CBN, they can redesign, they can produce and circulate within the space of 5-8 years, you know, and they can do that. And they said the last time we did that was in 2014.
20 years ago.
Yes, about 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Yes, and no, 20 years ago, yeah, that we did it. But the question I'm asking now, because Zena was saying that there are consequences.
There's always consequences for every action.
Of course.
Okay.
For every action.
Because we are talking about it now. One of the things I read today, Gumi was saying that it will now make kidnappers to demand for dollars.
Well,
what's your take on this?
You see, that we are sitting down here today talking about consequences.
I know.
That I walk from my house to this place, there are consequences. So if they are bringing the issue of consequences, that's neither here nor there. Because there is always consequences for everything. There's always consequences. Now, for the Minister of Finance to go to the House or the Senate to say she was not informed, I didn't think she should have done that. I think she should have gone to her boss to complain. It shouldn't come to the public and to start saying it's just as if they are telling the people that there is rancor somewhere. Because even after she did that, some people have started peddling the idea of sacking the CBN governor. Yes, because of, you know, so, but the issue like we're talking about is, does he actually need consent or permission or notification of the minister to do this? No. In fact, the CBN is an independent body from the Ministry of Finance. It is established by an act of parliament. So his authority is to the people. In fact, sometimes people peddle and say that even the president cannot just sack the CBN governor. Although every employee is the staff of the government headed by the president. But what am I saying, sir? Whether you change the Naira or not, Naira today is 780 Naira to a dollar. Whatever is making the Naira fall, I do not think it is the currency.
At all.
The minister had said that it will have adverse effect on the dollar to the Naira. That it might